gonna send a fucking airstrike at your base. You keep talking shit. They have that in this game now.
I know they do.
Okay, well then back the fuck up before you get fucking demolished.
I'm so scared, Dad.
You should be.
You're so scary.
This is my domain.
All right.
What's on the gym agenda for us tonight, Steve? What are we doing?
Oh, never mind. You're watching fucking this.
Tonight we do.
I don't want to be associated with either
then
of these
leave.
people.
Bye.
The
We do,
pedophile and the Nazi. See you later.
We do squats tonight. We do bench press with dumbbells. Okay.
Yeah, so we do the cool shit tonight.
Yeah. Then we do deadlifts.
Oh hell yes.
We do
brother.
some lat pull downs, and then we're gonna do some lateral shoulder raises. Okay. This is the man's day at the gym.
This
Okay.
is the good day.
How much extra scrap does it cost to research something specifically? Oh, he didn't answer, so we researched.
I don't know. I don't know.
Too late. I recycled the solar panels. Get fucked.
Oh no, you should do that. Good.
Nothing. Really? Nothing? Oh, well. Okay, listen to this.
I know everyone in my chat is like the demon on my shoulder, but we're trying not to drink on this stream. That's the goal.
I am primitive left.
That's my goal anyway.
Help me.
Actually, that's a good idea. I'm gonna make you the same size as me.
Don't you
as well.
still have to
Why?
unlock the tree to that point to use the item if you research it?
Okay. Who just shot? Oh!
Not me.
Hit him once?
How's life in the U.S. without gym lockdowns and a 10 p.m. curfew like in Montreal? Fucking end me.
Woo! Jesus Christ. Okay. Oh, somebody said why not do shrugs instead? I might be totally wrong, but I don't think shrugs have anything to do with your shoulders, do they? Aren't shrugs your traps? Or am I wrong? I have no idea actually what you use your traps for. I don't think I work those muscles out at all.
I feel like
Because I don't know what the fuck they're even used for. But there's a name for all the movements of the body, like adduction of the shoulder or whatever. And medial raises are for raising your arm up with from your shoulder here. Shrugging, I don't think does anything for your shoulders. I think that's just for your traps. Okay.
Your virtual camera.
Let's see. Can I do that? Is that?
If not, I'll just re. It's not gonna work.
How is it taking them so long to?
Fine,
Okay.
I'll make you
set up?
small in mine.
No. It's fine.
So
I can
that's
just.
less
No. You don't do anything.
Oh, do you have to reconfigure the whole thing now?
Yeah, but it's only gonna take a second. I'm just gonna crop your. Just have to recrop it. Okay.
Alright, so I apologize, I'm gonna sound a bit stuffed up. I've just gotten over the Wu flu, and also very little sleep. But, who is this? This is a person named Mr.Girl, and he is very controversial. I actually, so I'll just set the scene here. I actually haven't looked that much into you. I don't know about your cuties controversy. I made
Interesting
an
choice.
active decision
Really?
not to look too much into you before speaking.
Now,
Not have too much of a bias.
but also, let's be clear. That also makes it. Not looking into me also makes it so you have plausible deniability.
I don't care about that.
You may not care about it, but it's a fact.
What does that mean? Like,
He's
why
always
would
so
I want
aggressive.
plausible deniability?
Why?
Well, if somebody says, Lauren, why would you talk to the guy who said this, this, and this? You can say, well, I didn't know he said that.
Someone
And you
near
have
the
it on
base.
record
Can
at
you
the
come
very
up with a
start of
gun
the
if you are?
conversation that you don't know what I've said or
I
not
don't really
said.
Why
trust
would I
myself. Who
care
is
if
it?
someone
I'll die.
says, How dare you?
Some guy with a crossbow. I'm just mining wood naked. He's just dick riding. I think he left me alone though. I'm good.
Because if you, well, let's say that after the
Unless you
stream,
decide to go like shoot up a school or something. then,
no, let's
you
say
know,
after the
people
stream
seem to
somebody
really care
shows
about
you,
that.
somebody shows you that I am a advocate for child pornography. That I've been caught and arrested with it 5 times. I've spent 10 years in jail. I love child pornography, and I just think it's the best thing on earth. Don't you think
well,
you'd have some?
Get into that.
Well, I'm saying
ask
don't.
You some questions.
I'm saying if you had known that before we talked, do you think that you would be so friendly with me in our opening statements here? Probably not.
I know you're controversial, and I know people have said you're a pedophile and these kind of things.
I understand that, but if I were literally a
she's not
child
engaging.
pornographer, if I were a maker of child pornography, don't you agree that you would at least approach this with some more trepidation?
Yeah, I'd probably speak to you, but yeah, I'd probably come in pretty hard.
Okay, and so that's why I'm saying if somebody says, why didn't you come in hard, you have it now laid out that you
Super Idol does IO
have
wrong.
nothing to come in hard about because you
can
have
by
not
using.
Why would you do this? Stop.
I mean, if I were playing lots of mental games, that would make sense. Sure, if I were like setting up all these building blocks, but I'm not smart enough for that. I'm not.
Oh,
on an
don't
no.
Don't play stupid.
Let me.
You're not stupid.
Let me clarify that. On a social, emotional level, it's not that I'm not smart enough to do it. I just don't really think I'm that capable. It's not in my constitution, my personality, to play those kind of social games, which is why I tend to be very bad at it and tend to have the reputation I do now.
Okay, I think it's fair to, I agree that you are somewhat naive or maybe unwilling to play those games, but finding out if the person you're talking to is a literal child molester, I don't think that's a social game. I think
he's so aggressive.
I just want to point out that you can frame it as laziness, or you just didn't feel like researching me, or you didn't want to have a bias, or whatever.
No,
but
so
I
watched one interview with you and Destiny, but it
does
didn't go
afford
over
you
your history.
Plausible deniability, whether you wanted to or not.
Like, I see what you're getting at. I just don't know why.
You don't know why I'm getting at it?
Like, I see that. So I found this interesting with your conversation with Destiny. You seem to care a lot about how people are or could be using you in a social aspect. Like, you want to understand the psychology of why people talk to each other, why they avoid certain people online, why they ask certain questions the way they do or have the constitution they do in a conversation. And I think that's interesting because a lot of people don't take that approach in this realm. They all just kind of assume, in some spheres, we're all here for clout, and we're just, it's like Zerka Royale. We're all here for clout. We're all using each other. That's what this is going to be. And then some people make genuine friends on the internet, and some people get genuine, solid relationships with people. Why do you care so much about this kind of stuff? Like, why do you care so much about the interpersonal relationships between like streamers and people who speak to you?
I have a strong aversion to pretending I'm friends with somebody I'm not. And I have a strong aversion to noticing a dynamic in a social situation, especially one that disadvantages me, and not talking about it explicitly. So, and this has derailed a lot of my streams lately, where I feel like a power play is being made or a move is being made, knowingly or not, and then when I point it out, it just like, I basically just derails the whole conversation. So, like with Destiny, I feel like anytime I talk to Destiny, I do like to acknowledge, like, hey, like, you're huge. You launched my career. And made it so I can, like, semi-make a living. I quit my job because I talked to you once, like, 3 weeks ago. And I think that that creates a huge power differential, and I think it's worth mentioning. And not just a power differential for me, but it also creates, like, a situation where somebody that big, and especially somebody whose fans are so likely to also become fans of mine, can help me way more than I can help him. So it just creates this like weird dynamic, I think, every time we talk, that my only solution to it is to talk about it. and lately, after talking to a lot of people on Twitch, I've noticed people will do a lot of things to protect themselves in these conversations. And so I want to point out that any declaration either of us make of like, hey, I don't know everything this person has said, is somewhat self-protective, even if we don't intend it to be. It has that effect.
Also, like, I tried to find your Cuties review, but I couldn't find it. Is it still online?
Yeah, it's on my website.
But it's
YouTube
not
took
on
it
your
down.
YouTube. So
No,
I went to your YouTube and I watched 2 of your songs. The I'm a Pedophile song.
Wait, how did
and
she
the
go from
Weekend
I've never
song,
researched you
like,
to I watched your
song,
conversation
and I
with
saw
Destiny
the
to I watched your conversation
there
with Destiny, tried to find your Cuties review, and I've watched multiple videos on your
Pedophile song,
YouTube.
and then
Wait,
I saw-
what?
Am I allowed to say this on Twitch? Let me quickly ask my chat.
That's
Am I
interesting.
banned for
Pedophile?
saying this word? Yeah.
I know you can talk about
I s-
pedophiles on.
Okay.
Trust me,
Okay.
my whole career is talking about pedophiles on Twitch.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, we're good, chat. We're good to go. Full
Yeah.
steam ahead. And then I watched a Destiny conversation with you, and I found you very interesting. I found your conversation style, the way your brain works,
Destiny, I think
very
there's someone in-
interesting.
You think
but
what?
I could not purport to know about your history.
Someone's
That's my
crawling into
context
your
for
fucking
you.
house,
I
man.
did try to find it.
He's above.
I won't pretend I didn't.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I
He's
couldn't
right
find it, and I
above the
didn't.
hedge.
Oh,
I
fuck.
think I'll tweet that out today so that
Yep, he's on my
everybody
base.
can see my
Yeah.
Cuties review if anybody missed it.
So before we jump into things, should we explain why our first chat was canceled?
For the exact reason I just said, but the other way
Mm-hmm.
around. Well, actually, that's not. It was it was canceled because you got pissed. It was canceled because you got pissed off. But the reason you got pissed off is because I did what I just said that you did.
Right. Right.
So we were
Which I
gonna play
find
video-
interesting.
Yeah,
No,
we're
Toes,
gonna
close
play
the door,
video
you
games
fucking
together.
idiot. Sorry. He
something
can
like
open and
that.
close one hatch, okay?
Woman, this will be good.
Well,
And then
The hatch was
I
closed when I
heard-
opened the door. That's why.
Yeah, I know,
opened
but
it
it can be.
about
It can also be
your-
opened. Okay, I don't have a code log on that one yet.
and I don't know all the facts.
Oh,
so we can talk about this
Yeah.
about your refugee ship incident.
Got any meds?
And
Yeah, you do.
it suddenly felt like that, and then you being friendly with people who other people, including me, perceived to be white nationalists or white supremacists, made me think that I'm going to appear like I don't know what I'm doing, and like I haven't
He's up
done
there.
my research well
All right,
enough,
hold on.
and like I'm naive and trusting.
I'll get him out.
Not trusting. Trusting's good. Like I'm stupid. That's what I mean.
Okay, ready?
And,
Hello?
Are
I
we looking for a
didn't
gun?
want to
Where are you?
appear that incompetent.
Inside our base.
So it's not about. It's
Okay,
not me
Moon, are you
wanting
ready?
to not appear being friendly with somebody who is perceived as a white supremacist or who might
Okay.
be a
Oh,
white
wait.
supremacist.
No,
We have no fucking bullets.
It's that I don't
Just
want
hold
to
this.
be
Watch up.
seen
Watch up if he opens it.
realizing I'm doing that in real time, like I have no fucking idea what I'm doing. That was my main
So how
problem.
do you?
Oh,
So let
Like,
me.
obviously.
he's dead.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah. Go
Okay.
ahead.
So in trying to explain this to you, I think it came across to you as like you're dirty and I don't want to be smeared by you, which is fair.
Actually, wasn't it? That's not how it came across. I found
okay.
it's
The real question is, how does he build this?
So when I got your initial
he does not
message,
have
of
building
course I had all
privileges.
those things
'Cause you can
in
build
my head.
floors without
Oh
building
my gosh,
privileges.
this guy, he's
Oh,
got all these
really?
accusations
What?
about him, that he's a pedophile. He's, or he's defending child porn or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
should I even talk to him? Like that went through my head. Should I even
Alright,
talk to
shouldn't
him?
be a problem
Do I
anymore.
want to have this conversation? And I was like, you know what? Like, people spend a lot of time doing those calculations in their head. I'm reading a book right now. I'm going to be quoting him a lot just because I get obsessive with whatever book I'm reading at the moment and integrating it into whatever conversations I have in my life. G.K. Chesterton, and he wrote, it's his criticism of a bunch of philosophers in his day and age, friends and people he dislikes, and he wrote, you should never go to a man's enemies to try to understand who he is, nor should you go to the man himself. And I'm like, I don't feel like I can get a proper understanding
Where'd you
of who
get
this person
the
is,
bullets
nor
for that
people
gun?
get a proper understanding of who I am by what the worst accusations
Oh.
of us are on
Can you
Twitter.
give me one?
So let's just give it a chance. Sure. You want to play COD? Let's play COD. I'll talk. I'll
Here.
hear what you actually have
One
to
sec.
say, and then I can analyze that. And,
Put it in that container.
you know, analyze
Who's
other
shooting?
people's thoughts, my own mind, in context with other readings and understandings I have.
you-
But
Okay.
I just don't. Certainly, with my own experience, don't have that belief that you can.
This guy's a
understand
major
someone
dick writer. He's
by
got
the
like 50
worst,
beds all over the
worst
around our base.
accusations against them, or what all your enemies say. So then,
I
you
feel
know,
like
to
I've
have
outpaced
that
him intellectually.
turned around and be like, "Ooh, Lauren, I'm gonna, you know, be careful because of the worst assumptions I've seen about you online." I was like, "Oh, damn it!" Like, I figured you might find it endearing that both of us were in this position where people have these horrible interpretations of us that we both genuinely believe are deeply misunderstood. I at least assume on your end. Yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
I think that some people hate me because of misconceptions they have about me. But I think that a lot of my detractors actually do understand me. They just are horrified by me, genuinely. And I don't.
Interesting. So that's what I want to find out. That's what I want to find out. I know you wanted to interview me, but I'm gonna have far too many questions for it to go that way.
That's fine.
If I'm being honest.
We can go either way. Yeah, I agree that you can't go to the person's enemies or to themselves, but I think that but you're neither. So you're in a good position to understand me, not being my enemy, nor my ally, nor me. And I think
So
I'm in a good
who,
position to understand you.
Who gets to go first in the Alcoholics Anonymous circle, the canceled Anonymous circle? Do you want to start with
Nazis and pedophiles anonymous?
So what's this whole cuties thing? What's the review there? What
I made a
happened?
review where I said that Cuties tries to make you attracted to 11-year-old girls and that it's pretty good at it. I said,
And how did...
I said
Okay.
like, you know, as far as music videos go, like they are kind of hot, and that's kind of weird, and that I think it was unethical to be made with real children. But if you take the ethics of that aside, I think it makes an interesting point of forcing.
Oh, he
us
caveats
to
a little now. That's good.
reconcile with ourselves, like, how do we handle the blurry area between children and adults, and the times when we can see them as attractive or when they're dressed up or acting like adults. And as an art piece, I found it a interesting way to force us to confront those things. And then overall, like, the ways that we sexualize children.
So do you think that Cuties should have been published or should not have been published?
When you say public, you mean by Netflix or by, like...
Do you think it should have been made in the first place?
No, not the way it was, but I don't think it should be illegal. So it's like, there's a lot of things that you can do that I think are immoral, but I don't think that someone with a gun should stop you. So this falls in that kind of realm where I'm like, I think we need people out there making immoral art. As contradictory as it sounds, like I don't think you should do it, but I don't think it rises to the level of a crime either.
Why do you think it's immoral?
It's not gonna mix all of this that quickly, right?
Because you're telling kids to twerk. Or you're letting them twerk, whatever, paying them to twerk. Whether they like it or not. You're filming, you're sticking a big camera in a kid's butt. And that's like, just seems wrong to me. Yeah.
So to clarify to my chat who don't know, the movie Cuties was a French movie about a bunch of 11-year-olds who make a dance team, and they do very, very sexual dances and have a lot of sexual experiences in the movie. So a lot of people, Netflix bought it, massive controversy. People were like, this is like borderlining on child porn.
Yeah.
Mr. Girl's whole controversy is he did a review of the movie where he didn't fully reject it. I've done a review of Cuties myself for Human Events where I obviously completely rejected the film and don't think it should have been
Did she
made.
watch it?
I
please ask her if she
further on
watched
that,
it.
Do you think it
though.
should be a crime?
So I asked, well, I'm more so getting into the moral aspect of it. So you said you don't think it's moral because it's sticking cameras at children's private parts.
The creation of it, I think, is the problem. That you're, like, I don't think it's immoral to film a kid's gymnastics competition. And even though they could end up being kind of sexualized in the same way, or if somebody were interested in watching that for sexual reasons, they might receive gratification from it. So that's not the part so much that I'm worried about. It's that it sends a very different message to a child to say, like, you're going to compete in this sport, and part of the sport is that you're wearing a leotard, versus I'm going to put you in a leotard and film you because it is sexual. And we're making a movie about sexuality and objectifying children, so I'm going to objectify you. I'd like, even if the outcome could be similar, it's the creation of the second one, I think, is inherently semi-child abuse.
And did you just didn't clarify your thoughts on that well enough in your Cuties review, you think? Or what was like the crux that people held on to when we're doing all the
I said that pretty clearly in the review. Most people have not actually seen my review. They've seen clips of me saying that the girls were hot. Out of context.
So you objectively found them hot, is what you're saying?
Well, I think it's subjective, but yeah.
Oh,
like,
man.
Fair. In your mind.
In my mind, yeah, I was like, wow, they actually are kind of hot. So, but like the point of bringing that up in the review was like, this is weird. It's weird. It's a weird.
Okay, I'm gonna sidetrack for a big thing that just never mind. No, I'm not.
Dress these kids up to be hot, and then like they kind of are.
Right. So you're saying it's a weird thing and a wrong thing. I'm trying to understand you here properly. That there would be a deliberate intention to try to make people's mind make that connection between a child and sexuality.
No. I think that's fine. I think I'm fine with that part of it. I'm fine with challenging people to like. I think there's ways you can make the world a better place or a more interesting place by forcing people to acknowledge to themselves, like, that, you know what, the line of where you find someone attractive is not 18. It's not magically, it stops there. For some people, it goes somewhat lower. For some people, much lower. It's dependent on situations and relationships or whatever. And I think that I think we can protect children better if we know that about ourselves and each other. So I'm fine with challenging people to face that.
So so we acknowledge, obviously pedophilia exists, so there are people that are attracted to children. We acknowledge that exists within the human psyche in some places.
Well, it's a spectrum.
It's a spectrum, right? We acknowledge that exists within the human psyche. So should not and this is obviously what the natural reaction was for most people. The natural reaction was, you know, we deeply reject this movie because we
I don't know.
want
I think
to
that's
spark that.
I think that's
in the
fake.
Human psyche
I don't.
That.
I think some of that is fake. Wait, can I just explain the answer to your previous question about what people's problem was with my review? Most people,
go ahead.
When they disclose things about themselves on social media, are doing so for the purpose of saying ... and I am a good and normal person, or and this is how things should be. And so I'm very careful to differentiate between when I'm making a prescriptive statement about how I think the world should be, but I think the assumption is when someone's reviewing a movie that they're not going to make themselves look like a sick monster. And so I think there's an assumption that if I say, oh yeah, the movie made me find the girls in the movie hot, that I therefore think that's a good thing, or that I'm completely comfortable with that, or that I want to normalize it, or that I whatever. There's a lot of assumptions that go into that. So I think part of the problem is that people who are not familiar with me or my content are assuming that like if who's a good clean YouTuber, like Mr. Beast. If Mr. Beast came out and said like the girls at Cuties were hot, obviously the implication there would be, and that's okay, and that's a good thing, and like why? I'm very careful to explain on my channel like my morality is
daytime
a separate topic, and I addressed it separately in the review from my experience. and I do not present my thoughts, and I think this is the appeal of my channel to people, I'm not presenting my thoughts in a way where I'm only going to present the ones that I think are moral. In fact, I'm going to go out of my way to present the thoughts that I have that I think are immoral more, because they're the more unspoken and more interesting thoughts to talk about.
So is it just okay? So I've got I've got so many questions. First of all, I want for my chat, for people that are listening, they're all like, what the hell is going on? So just clarify, like, black and white. You think age of consent
you want to talk?
Exist, like you're against
okay, this is exactly
kind of stuff, like just
They want to make sure
we
he's a
can
good
watch
person.
it happen in real time.
Yes.
So, people desperately want reassurance
that
when you go into murky waters, right? And same thing with you.
Yeah, you have to clarify everything going in. But like I'm
like same
doing this
thing
because I'm
with
seeing mass confusion in my chat, so I feel like anything you say from this point on will just
it's the same thing. Well, I mean,
if there isn't some sort of clarification, you know?
Right. So it'd be like if my chat was like, wait a second, ask her if she believes that in equal rights for people of different races. Ask her if she's a race realist. Ask her if she believes in segregation or if she's pro-slavery. Make her say XYZ.
Yep.
Make some statement or pledge that she's not a racist.
Well, like, yeah, I can. So like I can make statements like.
I don't want you. I don't want you to make any statements. I'm just giving you an example.
I know what you mean though. Like I get what you're saying.
So is that what we're doing?
Definitive.
You're asking me to do that.
Definitive statement.
I assume you don't like it when people ask you to do this.
No, you're right. I don't like that.
You don't like it.
But.
So maybe you should tell your chat to fuck off.
I think that they have some relevant concerns, but all right. What I will tell you, chat, is
but you don't.
Deeper. Let's dig deeper.
No. Don't fuck with me. You are not sitting there thinking that I want to lower the age of consent. I don't believe you think that. They think that, and they're addressing you with the concern, and you are passing it on to me.
No, I don't think that, but I'm not sure that you're communicating that well enough, and I don't think I communicate my thoughts well enough sometimes either, which is why there's been a large amount of misunderstanding.
Okay.
How convenient.
I think I should defend you from my chat, and you can defend me from your chat. How's that? You can explain it to your chat. Don't ask me. You tell them. You understand.
Well, I'm trying to fully understand your beliefs as well right now.
I think you understand just fine. I appoint you as my representative to defend me from your own chat. You now have power of attorney. You can speak for me. Go ahead.
We've only spoken for 30 minutes.
You're that intuitive.
I genuinely do not feel
you are that
intuitive. I can describe your views well enough.
You are that intuitive, I believe, that I'm granting you power of attorney anyway.
You're being very aggressive, and you're assuming that I understand you well enough when I don't. I've spoken to you for 30 minutes. I don't understand you.
Well, would you rather I assume that you don't understand me when you do?
Fuck, I wish I could.
I'm being aggressively.
I wish I could translate between the two of these. Oh, man.
Charitable.
Fuck.
And this may not be charitability.
Media. No, I don't want to jump in. I don't want. That's like super attention whoring. But like, I see where both of you are coming from.
Fuck off. Where's the aggressive charitability?
Well, I meant. Well, that was a different topic.
I think you're getting very defensive, and I think.
No, I'm getting anti-defensive. I'm not going to defend myself.
You're frustrated that you recognize that I understand what you're getting at to a degree, and I do, but I don't feel that I genuinely have enough understanding to explain it back to my chat simply.
I know.
You know when you read a book and you're like, I get that book and I see what they're getting at, but I couldn't explain this to someone else.
Well, I actually heard a quote from a book that was really stuck with me. If you want to understand
a person,
man,
don't talk to their enemies or their friends.
To the man himself.
Right, but I don't understand you well enough yet.
Your chat can't ask me. I am me. I can't explain myself.
Oh no,
right.
You're
and
a neutral party.
I'm going to analyze it as a neutral party, but I don't feel that I am like in that book. Okay, so that's great. Let's bring it back to Chesterton's book. In that book, Chesterton
Yeah.
where it's called Heretics, and he's reviewing various philosophers. He's known these people. He's been friends with them their whole life. He's read all of their books. He can describe their views.
The only reason why I would want to moderate just this particular disagreement is because I don't want them to get stuck on this for an hour.
He their positions, but he can only do this because he's gotten to know them at a deep level, like he's studied them. So when you look at that quote, he's not talking about get someone at face value that's a random third party. That's not what that quote means. That quote means
I don't think you're a random third party.
Nor the enemy is going to be able to.
I think you are.
Mr. Girl's been getting stuck on shit for hours. So many people. Yeah, I know. He's just not. He's missing like a part of the communication here.
Don't call yourself an idiot.
Or the other person is so primed against them.
I'm calling myself an idiot. I think you missed the point there. I said that doesn't mean a random person, whether they be an idiot, a person having a random conversation. Or
I messaged both of them, but I don't.
Well,
I mean, we'll see.
That's not what that quote was referring to, and I do think you're having a bit of condescension.
He's doing the opposite of condescending. He's doing the opposite of condescending.
Analyzing, and I'm just saying, I wonder, this constant analyzing about what other people are doing with mental games.
Yes.
Because you're doing it.
No.
It could be.
No. Oh, she's. Ah, fuck. They're not gonna move past this.
Are you saying that you don't understand what my mental game position is right now in this interaction? I feel like you do understand it, so that feels also not true. Do you not understand why? Do you understand why I don't want to answer the question? And do you know exactly how I feel? I know you know how I feel.
I'll explain to my audience.
Oh, maybe we'll see if Lauren has it. We'll see if Lauren can do it.
I'm saying I don't want to answer their questions. I give you full authority to answer for me, if you want to or not.
So I'm not.
Oh,
so
is she going
when
to?
I think about when people ask me a question like, do you think that, I'm trying to think of a good example.
Are you now, or have you ever been a member of the Nazi Party?
The Great Replacement is real or something? Or do you think that immigration is bad or good? Like, those are not questions that I can possibly give yes or no answers to, because there is so much depth and nuance to those questions. There are instances in which immigration are good and bad. There are instances in which I could say aspects of what people would call the Great Replacement are true, whereas other aspects are misportrayed. Did you do X? Did you do Y? Well, there's complexity to that. I understand. But when it comes, I think there are some definitive questions, and there have to be some definitive answers in this world. Truth does exist. I'm not saying that either of us have it, but there are definitives.
Absolutely. I don't think that's the analogous situation.
If you ask me, okay, so there we go. Like I said, I'm not sure I understand fully, and I need you to believe me when I say I'm not sure I understand fully what you're getting at.
I don't believe you.
Well, then how can we continue to have this conversation?
No, don't get stuck. Don't get stuck here.
Genuine questions.
Check your
Discord. I believe
Discord.
everything else you're saying.
Fuck.
Just not this one.
Which
I think,
aspect?
Okay.
Which aspect?
Well, because I already asked you. Okay. Do you like being asked if you're a Nazi?
No, but I can answer it easily. I'm not.
Yes, but that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking if you like it.
No, because I think it comes with an inherent assumption that I am. But if someone's chat if your chat were like, is Lauren a Nazi, Lauren a Nazi, and you said, my chat just want to know, yes, no, are you a Nazi? I'd say no. And maybe, there's actually an interesting analysis.
Call them. I already messaged them both. Shut the fuck
up. Like you said, the man themselves can't define them. There does have to be a degree of outside analysis, but I think that's where the rest of the conversation comes in. You can give people definitive phrases, and then they can listen to you for the rest of the conversation to see if your actions match up with that. Mm-hmm. But it's not like there's zero value to someone's self-description.
I'm not saying there's zero value. That's not my point. My point is that you don't like.
What I'm saying?
I understand what you. I do understand what you're saying, but I don't know that you understand what I'm saying.
You're gonna have a very hard time on the internet. You're gonna have a very hard time.
I think we're both having a pretty fucking hard time on the internet. I think there's no question about that. I'm already having a hard time on the internet.
Well, this is just what it is, It's not.
Well, it sucks. But can I explain? I feel like you asked me a question, but I feel like you are not understanding my answer.
Okay. The floor is yours. I'm listening.
Do you like it when people ask if you're a Nazi?
No.
fucking dubstep.
Okay, you said you don't like it because it implies that you are. But
It implies that there's a question.
don't you also not like it just because it's annoying?
Correct.
I don't
yeah.
like virtue signaling. I find it detestable. I don't like being asked to do it. I don't like it when someone's like, whoa, I'm getting uncomfortable. Can you make some broad statements about what kind of person you are so I can calm down and listen to what you're saying?
That's what he's.
I'm like, well, no.
And he feels like she already
Then don't
knows,
listen.
but she's
That's
just
fine.
asking to virtue signal to her audience.
We're
I don't
not
know.
talking about
I
age of
kind of
consent
see
right
what you're
now.
getting at.
He's
We're talking about
accusing her of
cuties.
virtue
Do I have to
signaling. I don't know
have
if she's hearing
do I have
that or
to
she
tell you what I
understands.
think the age of consent should be to be able to have a conversation about cuties? And based on this conversation, you're telling me you don't know what my position on the age of consent is, or I have a guess? I just don't believe that. I don't believe you.
I have a guess that you would generally be against pedophilia. I have a guess that you believe the age of consent is probably pretty fair where it is right now. That would be my assumption. But you're exploring these ideas with a mind that I think people would argue is too open.
But people,
And I
including
think there's-
you?
I don't know. I haven't
That's,
spoken to you long enough.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So if your chat has questions about where I stand, and they want me to virtue signal to calm them down, I don't care if your chat's calm.
I don't care if they're calm either, but I'm offering that I figured, you know,
I'm not
a
going
lot
to
of
answer their
people-
questions. I'll answer your questions.
Okay, that's fine.
Because I don't like being asked to virtue signal. And I reject the construct of like, whoa, I can't proceed listening to this talk about cuties if this
I don't know
guy-
if you're
like,
a pedophile or not.
You know, like if he thinks the age of consent should be 11, then I'm out. Like it doesn't.
I can
that's
see.
not-
I
it's
can see
not
why
what
you
we're-
would enjoy speaking to Destiny.
What is that supposed to
Because he
mean?
definitely doesn't do that.
No,
When I think about that, like I've
You
never
don't do it
had
either.
him. Sorry.
you don't
what?
do it either. And I assume you'd hate it when it's being done to you.
Yeah. So okay.
So let's not do
I
it.
think
to
I
each other.
can. I think I can explain it to my chat. I know you don't like me addressing my chat. In fact, I will
No,
close
no.
it
You can
after I
address.
explain this.
No. If you want to keep an eye on chat, and I'm going to do the same, then that's fine. And you can address it to them as you want. I'd like to hear what you're saying to them, though.
Okay. So
Uh-oh. Okay.
when I speak to Destiny chat, you guys will notice he never asks me to clarify, you know, are you a Nazi? Are you a racist? Are you a white supremacist? Are you all these things your Wikipedia page say? We have the conversation and he leaves it up to people to decide what I've said and what my views are based on the actual contents of our conversation rather than these kind of labels that must always be addressed and always be questioned beforehand to ensure that the conversation is acceptable to have or not. And that's not, even when I came back and every single Twitch creator, every single YouTube creator that interviewed me wanted to ensure we did an inquisition about my past, he didn't do that. And I don't think he did that to you either. He just wanted to actually prod and pry your mind to see what we could figure out through, dissecting your beliefs. Because you can't find out what someone is through a yes or no question. I'm not sure you can. Sorry, I'm not sure if that makes sense. I'm grappling with the idea right now. But I also got offended to an extent when you suggested that you wanted to just interview me instead of just talk.
Yeah,
Because I thought it was
too
going to
protected.
just be an inquisition of are you this, are you that, are you this, are you that.
Yeah, and I should
Who
have
is that?
presented that differently, because that's usually what happens.
Look at us, dealing with our internet trauma.
Yeah, I think we're both pretty pissed off.
Hey, stop, sir. Stop, sir. Or I'm going to shoot.
What?
Oh, it's you.
Do you see the
Okay.
value in direct
Okay.
questions, though, if they're thought out well?
I'm sorry. Wait, you want to fucking
Yes.
Maybe not yes or no questions.
No.
But-
My problem with it is not that it was a direct yes or no question.
It's that it was a
wasn't
virtue
your
signal.
question.
Yeah. for
and
the
it
audience.
had nothing to do with what we were talking about.
Yep.
Okay.